What is the similarity between the Big Bang, the Tories, Cubism, and the Quakers? I'll give you that one more time. What is the similarity between the Big Bang, the Tories, Cubism, and the Quakers?
This is almost the ideal question for me as an art historian and a Quaker, but not a Tory and not involved in the Big Bang. But almost half, 2 out of 4 ain't bad.
Well, I am aware of the Big Bang, of Tories, of Cubism, and of Quakers. And
that's it. That's the answer. Matt's aware of them. That's
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to question 2.
I know there's a whole thing about Quakers not speaking much, but I'd have to say that the Tories are certified yappers. That's a difference.
Very, very Gen Z little slang going in there, Matt.
Yes.
What? Hang on. Remind me again. It's the Big Bang, Tories, Quakers, and
Cubism.
Cubism.
Which is an art style where everything looks a bit odd and mixed up sometimes, and with perspectives, as I understand it.
I mean, I'm going to ask the art historian for a definition there.
Yeah, what is the Cubism?
So Cubism was invented by Picasso and Georges Braque, and they were basically like super besties, and then they fell out and never spoke about it again. So maybe there's something here about lovers' tiffs, but fundamentally with Cubism, you can see the same thing from multiple perspectives at one time. So which is why it all looks a bit blobby. But Cubism.
Maybe they all started in France.
Notoriously the Big Bang.
It's got French energy. It's the centre of everything.
Technically, it should be called Le Grand Bang, but...
Le Grand Pouf.
Thank you. I was really hoping that someone would come up with a translation, because I started that sentence, and by the time I got to the end of it, I didn't have the French word for bang.
So I know, obviously, the Tories is not... I'm interested in that phrase as opposed to conservatives, because technically it's kind of the same as saying like the GOP for the Republicans. Like it's a nickname or it's another name for it. And so I'm wondering if this is kind of like a suffragette style thing where it's not like the original name for the thing. It got named by someone who was in opposition to it, or named as like a nickname that wasn't meant to be good. And then they were like, I guess this is us now.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Do you want to talk more about we start with the Tories there?
I'm not going to lie to you, Tom. I truly don't know. This wasn't like I knew that was true for one of them, and so I extrapolated. I truly didn't know that was true for any of them, but I was like, I just know that this is maybe something that wasn't, because the Big Bang also is not necessarily like an officious sounding thing for quite an important theory. So yeah, that was just a guess into the darkness that turned out to be correct.
The Big Bang was popularised by astronomer Fred Hoyle on BBC Radio in 1949. He was sceptical about it. He thought it sounded ridiculous. Thank you, producer David. The Big Bang in French is Le Big Bang.
Thank you.
Never.
Thank you so much.
Alternatively, Le Grand Explosion. But Le Big Bang is what people use. You mentioned George Braque, Verity, who is in my notes here.
Yeah.
I also have Louis Vaucel.
Yeah, so he was a writer, and then he basically named loads of art movements, being like, I think this is no good. And then they were like, I like the name no good. We'll use that. So he's all over the place.
Yeah, and that's what happened with Cubism. Tory was originally... I mean, it says in my notes it's a slur, which I feel is a strong term to use. But it comes from the Irish Toride, which I'm probably mispronouncing, for outlaw or robber.
It's quite accurate then.
And Quaker, I'm going to ask the Quaker, do you know where that name came from?
Well, it used to, like, back in the 17th century, when the Quakers were founded by George Fox. And the idea is that you sort of, you're having a think, and then maybe you'll sort of have some sort of revelation about the way we live and the world we live in, which can cause you to basically have a bit of a flutter. So I imagine it was a slightly eye-rolly, all of this quaking they're doing. Oh.
Yep, quaking or trembling in a religious context. Absolutely right. Rowan, out of nowhere, congratulations. They all came from derisive nicknames. The Lateral Producers Club is at lateralcast.com if you would like more Lateral, fewer adverts, and to support the show.